Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back for another video. It is May, which means it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different, something that I've never done. I'm a little nervous. Something I feel like maybe we could all use every now and again. And we're going to do a little bit of a mental health screening. We're going to go online. We're going to go to mentalhealthamerica.com or mentalhealthnational.org. And we're going to take their screening test. And this screens for a couple of different things. It's really like a great way to kind of check in. I have not taken this test before. I wanted to go in blind with you. So I'm going to screen share. We're going to record the whole process. But I thought that this would be a good way for us to just check in. Personally, I'm feeling like I'm in a good place mentally right now. I've definitely taken some steps to realign my own boundaries, but we'll see what we learn and we'll get into this together. So let's get started. All right, guys, so we're actually refilming this part because I had a few technical difficulties, but it's great because I can do this a little more organically with what's happening now. So we need to go to mha-national.org. I will leave the link below. If you Google Mental Health America, it'll come up. And they have on their homepage, they have the Take a Screen, which is where you can take the mental health tests. They have several, and I think we're going to do a few of them together. So let's start with the anxiety test. Now these are also available in Spanish, and every single test is a little bit different, and they also have kind of a certain time window that they want you to look at. So over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by the following problems? I would not pass the teleprompter test today. 2 weeks. Feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. Several days. There will be a video coming after this about my recent meltdown, kind of talking you through recovering from that. So this is included in those 2 weeks. Not being able to control over worrying. Several days. Worrying too much about different things. Several days. Trouble relaxing. Restless, that it's hard to sit still. Not at all. Several days. Uneasily annoyed or irritable. Feeling afraid as something awful might happen. Not at all. That doesn't tend to be my anxious stuff. And you can fill in your age range. I'm only going to fill this in the once. I identify as female. The income. Anything you are experiencing, anything else about your mental health, if you've ever been diagnosed. I have not. No, I have not. Main things contributing to my mental health. Probably past trauma for sure. I'm in a season right now of healing. Health insurance? No, I do not. And then you can view your results. So I had mild anxiety. I probably have mild anxiety more often than I would like. We're working on that, but this was my test score here. So I feel like these are really just a good check-in to be honest with yourself. Obviously, the end of the test is going to be dependent on where you're at, and sometimes I think you just need that like second opinion to be like, you know what, I am in that bad place and maybe it's time for me to ask for some help. So let's take the depression test. It's not exciting, but it's in the title of this, and I wanted to take it with you guys because in case maybe you're in the space right now, and even if you're not willing to go on and you're not ready to take these tests, going through these questions, even if it's just with me, will help you realize maybe you're not in the best headspace and that it's time to reach out to somebody else. And it's okay that you reach out to somebody else, that people want to help and support you. All right. Over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by any of the following problems? Little pleasure, interest in doing things. That's not an issue right now. Feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. Not at all. I've definitely felt frustrated lately. You know, we'll put several days. There have been some days where I've been not as hopeful as I would like. Trouble falling asleep or staying asleep too much. Several days for sure. Feeling tired or having little energy. This one is not the best timing for this question because I just got the second vaccine and then I started my period. So we're going to say not at all, even though it's probably several days. Like I feel tired right now, but that does not have anything to do with this. Poor appetite or overeating. Let's say several days. I feel like My food has not been in the best wavelength this week, but it's been better. Feeling bad about yourself or that you're a failure have let yourself or your family down. I'm not necessarily happy with where I'm at, but I feel like that's one of the things, and Milet talks about a lot, being blissfully dissatisfied can be really hard, but I'm working on that. I'll do a whole video about kind of being kinder to yourself. Trouble concentrating on things, such as reading the newspaper, watching television, not at all. Moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed, or the opposite, being so fidgety or restless that you've been moving around a lot more than usual. Nope. Thoughts that you'd be better off. We're not going to read the rest of that. You've checked off any problems. How difficult have these problems made it for you at work or home? I don't understand this question, but it might be because my brain's just not there right now. All right. We're going to skip the questions, or the, personal, whatever. Minimal. Very few or none. If you notice that your symptoms aren't improving, you might want to bring them up with somebody else if you're interested in learning more. So they have the option to find treatment provider, information on depression. I can't stop snapping at people. I had a moment the other day where I thought if I didn't get myself away from some people, I might snap. But that's just because I have extremely high standards and I don't like paying for things when people don't do their job. All right, let's take one more test, shall we? So I have actually taken several of these, but I think we should take the postpartum depression test because this is something in the back of my mind that I have not had kids yet. I want to have kids someday, and knowing my family history, I really kind of want to I want to start educating myself on postpartum so that I can be more mindful of it and making sure that those around me are mindful of it so that I can hopefully, if that's something I deal with, am aware of it very quickly. New and expecting mothers in the past 7 days, not just how you feel today. All right. As much as I always could. I've been able to laugh and see the funny side of things. I look forward with enjoyment to things as much as I ever did. I blame myself unnecessarily when things went wrong. No, never. Keep in mind, this is me answering this. I have been anxious or worried for no good reason. Yes, sometimes. I felt scared or panicky for no good reason. No, not at all. Things have been getting on top of me. Yes, most of the time I haven't been able to cope at all. Yes, sometimes I haven't been coping as well as usual. No, most of the time I've coped quite well. No, I've been coping as well as ever. I have been so unhappy that I've had difficulty sleeping. Not very often. No at all. But I am tired. Every time you say the word sleep, I just feel like it's a trigger for me to be like, nap? I have felt sad or miserable. Not at all. Been so unhappy that I've been crying. Crying, yes, but that's because I've been watching some really emotional documentaries. The thought of harming myself has occurred to me. Nope. And then we continue with the same ones. Depression, not likely. So I find it really interesting that those questions are different than the depression ones. That it's almost like mother guilt in there a little bit more. It's so fascinating to me. Parenting is hard, but it seems like you're taking it in strides. You're responsible for a whole new human being. Like, I cannot imagine. I can't imagine what that's like. But there we have it, guys. So I'm going to wrap up this video in another space with you. But I hope that going through these tests with you helped give you some kind of idea, even if it was just answering questions in a different way or giving you some new perspective on it. I feel like sometimes we just need a little help. We need a little check-in. We need to take a moment to realize that we aren't being as kind to ourselves as we can be. And we also need to remember that people do want to help and support us. So that being said, let's go back to Savannah in blue, who has another really cute Alice and Olivia top on. I feel like I learned a lot just from taking those tests. There are some things that I didn't realize were indicative of certain mental health disorders, but I think today was a great way to spend some time and just check in. There are all of those tests available, so if you want to check them out, I will leave the link in the description box below. Please know if you need help. I know that it can be really hard to ask for it when you're in a bad mental space. Please do. Please know that you are so loved and that we want the best for you. I want for you to live your happiest and healthiest life. And no matter what your score is on this, even if you feel like you're in a place that you need help, please, please get help. I will put whatever resources I can in the description box below of places that you can call and phone numbers and people you can reach out to. But that is all I have for you guys today. So I love you. It is a good day to have a good day. I hope you all have a beautiful day wherever you are. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend who you think just needs a reminder to check in. Let them know that these tests exist, and that way, you know, when we need that moment, when maybe we're not in a place to want to talk to somebody else, it's there and we can have a little bit more honesty in our space and hopefully get the help that we need. But I love you. It is a good day to have a good day, and I hope you all have a beautiful day wherever you are. Bye, guys.